Hello and welcome back to another edition of Meet in the Middle Movies. I'm Elin.
I'm Mindy.
And we are a married couple with very different interests, but we meet in the middle when it comes to movies. And this last weekend, we got a chance to see a movie that I think a lot of people are talking about. That is Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, as well as some other really great supporting cast members and a really great ensemble, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's directed by Ryan Coogler. He's the one who did the Creed movies, the Black Panther movies, and this is his first original in a little bit, first original story in a little bit that didn't have to do with like an existing IP. Right. So we got a chance to see that. It's a it's classified as a horror film, but as we'll get into, there's a little bit more than that. So, Mindy, what were your initial thoughts of it?
Okay, so I was really excited going into this movie. It looked like something different, something pretty original, and that it did not disappoint. At first, some of the themes to me seemed a little bit disjointed, but this one is a thinker. It's a little bit, there's some symbolism going on, there's some metaphors going on, and then there's the literal aspect of it as well. So it's not a whole like just artsy symbolic film. It's an interesting commingling of the two kind of approaches, I think, to a film. And I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. This made it to the top of a lot of my lists for the year. As we go along, as we go along, Elin and I like to create our lists of who we think might be in contention for different awards during awards season next year and all of that stuff. So it was at the top of a lot of my lists. Loved seeing Michael B. Jordan absolutely rock it, and some of his co-stars. So we've got pets out today, so making sure one of the cats doesn't mess things up. And I thought that it was really powerful as well. It spoke to a couple of pretty powerful themes. They address things like racism, gentrification, just the influence of African Americans on music and everything. So that was a surprising thing to come out of something that's also just a good old vampire flick. So that was pretty fun for me.
I loved it. This went to #1 on my list, and the list she was talking about are also, if we ran awards, what we would do, which that video, we did record it, but it kind of came out a little weird. We're still working on getting that up, but it may not get up, it may get up, but we'll for sure have a video up for this year's stuff that we're doing all year.
Getting some of the kinks worked out.
Yeah. But back to this review, I loved it. I thought that Ryan Coogler, I think, is becoming one of the most consistent filmmakers out there. When you look at what he's done, he's taken kind of Marvel movies to another level. Black Panther, of course, was the first Marvel film to be nominated for Best Picture. It was the first Marvel film to win Best Ensemble at the SAG Awards. If he can do that with Marvel, then it makes you excited to see what he can do with original stories, and he did not disappoint.
And it's doing great at the box office.
Yeah, it's actually doing really well at the box office, which is
I'm glad that something that was a little bit of a wild card is doing so well.
Yeah, it's a very positive sign. The one thing that really kind of struck me just won an Oscar for Oppenheimer a couple years ago. To win a Oscar, his third one in however many tries. I mean, it's
beautiful music.
Yeah, it's really, really well done.
And he's actually also considered, I don't know if this is typical for the composer to also be credited as an executive producer, but I think that plays into how some of the music is also integrated into, like some of the score is integrated into some of the songs in a cool way, and it all kind of flows together nicely. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but yeah, it's good stuff.
No, one thing that really kind of stood out for me was how the theme of kind of the music is also that is seen as power, because, and it talks about it in the trailer, so we're not giving any major plot points away, but in this story, music can conjure up spirits from the past, the present, and the future, but also evil spirits, and that's how this vampire flick gets started. The two twin brothers, played by Michael B. Jordan. More on that in a minute. They're from this small town in the Delta, and they run off to Chicago, make their money, get their blood money, come back, open up a club basically, and they have their cousin, who's played by Michael Canton, who, by the way, very first film he's ever been in, and he nails it.
I wonder if they got him off of stage or something.
Probably, because
Like,
he's got an amazing
that can't
voice
be his
as well.
first acting job.
Anyway,
let us know if you know.
he plays their cousin, who is a blues singer, and it's his song that conjures up this. And there's this amazing scene where it shows all the spirits coming from the past, present, and future, and it just kind of goes together. And it's an amazing scene that a lot of people on film, social media are talking about right now.
Yeah.
And then but it also calls the evil spirits, the vampires, and things like that. And the way that music kind of gets kind of entwined in the story, and also is kind of, in my mind, this is the great thing about this movie. I watched 3 different reviews on it. Yeah. Each one of them took 3 different symbolizations and representations from it.
Yeah, it's the kind of movie you'll walk out splitting hairs about the meanings and what you take from it that's a little bigger than the baseline story.
To me, I felt like it was a story about power, and how the music is the power, and when used right, it can be used to bring people together and make the world a good place. Because the whole reason they're opening this up is because they're opening it up for the plantation workers. And this is in the 1930s, so things are not great for African Americans in the Deep South. But they open it up for them to kind of have an escape, almost. Is that an impression I got? So that the music, that power, can be used for good, to bring people together, to help people out. But you have other people on the other side who want, because there's a line in it that the vampire says to the cousin, "I want those songs. I want that music. We want that." So they're on the other side. You have someone.
The evil recognizes that it has the power to bring together people.
Well, the evil recognizes that person has that power. I want that power for my own purposes. So that was the theme I took from it. But like I said, it's you're gonna watch it, and you're gonna come up with a completely different thing. And that's the great thing about this movie, is I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer on what the theming is about this.
I agree.
Another thing that I really, really enjoyed was Michael B. Jordan's portrayal of they're called the Smokestack twins. Smoke and Stack are their names. And me being an identical twin myself, in movies, when you see twins, it seems like they're primarily they're used one of 2 ways. They're used as kind of a side character, and they're 2 people playing the same character. Like, for some reason, I think of My Best Friend's Wedding with the twins there, like that type of deal, where it's like there's 2 people, but they're the same character. Yeah. Or they're used as a plot device for a separated at birth. This is the most nuanced portrayal of twins I've seen. They have their own characters. They have their own personalities. They have their own likes, their own dislikes, their own pressures, their own priorities. And he does such an amazing job playing both of them.
Yeah. Basically, if it didn't look exactly like himself, it would just be 2 totally different characters. Like, because of the way he looks, but the way he acts. Yeah. It's so, nuanced and really cool that he's 2 completely different people, and he does it well.
I can't put my finger on the name, but there's a character in it that's kind of like a Bayou witch, I guess you would say. Yes. And I can't remember what her name is, but she's in Loki. And
she's really great.
I actually looked it up right before we went on, but it's a name that is very unique, and I apologize.
Tricky to pronounce.
I'll put it down in the text right there.
So we'll have to look up that.
Anyway, she was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Haley Steinfeld, I thought she was really, really cool in this one. Yeah. This is in the past on our reviews, we've said there's certain movies where it's like, it was good, it was fun. I don't think we're going to be talking about it a few months from now. This movie we're going to be talking about for not just this year. I think we're talking about it for years to come. It is that good. I felt like.
We had the discussion the other night or last night. We saw it last night. We had the discussion where like I think this movie was so unique that it's going to inform movies moving forward. You know, it's going to be one of those influential movies that sort of changed the scene a little bit. And I think we're going to see hints of it in movies coming up.
Well, what's the good news about it ultimately is that movie fans have been asking for, we want something original. We want something original. And Warner Brothers actually, A, gave Ryan Coogler the go-ahead to do something original. And then B, actually put legit money behind it. Like the production value on this thing is not an indie film. No. It is a high production value thing. They put a good production budget behind it. They put a good advertising budget behind it. And people are showing up to watch it. So
even that being said, though, I don't feel like this was as discussed outside of maybe big movie fan circles. I did, you know, most people we've talked to outside of the cinephile world were a little bit like, wait, what's that? You know, what's that movie? So guys, if you haven't heard of this one, we're talking about it. Everybody needs to be talking about it. It's so good.
Yeah, it is really good. It goes. It went to number 1 on my personal list. We've now seen more than 10 movies, so it now makes sense to say it did or didn't make the list. This one went to number 1 on the list. Obviously, in a thumbs up, thumbs down world, I'm giving it like, we just listened to Project Hail Mary, and one of the characters has 6 arms. If I had 6 hands, I would all 6 of them would be thumbs up.
Finn will put his paws up for it.
It was that good. We'll mention one caveat though. Well, 2 caveats. Number 1, not a family movie. This is R-rated. There's blood. There's sexual content. There is a lot of things going on there. Before we stop talking about the ensemble, Jack O'Connor, who plays the main villain, he was absolutely fantastic. The way he even has some musical numbers in there that really kind of shows the contradiction between the styles and the sides. Really, really cool. This is one of those movies that used to be big movies. I remember back in the 90s would have here's the album that's the score, and then here's the album that's the soundtrack with the songs. This movie has that thing going on where there's an album on Amazon Music that's the score, and then songs based off of and featured in the movie. If you're a music fan, go check it out. Highly recommend it. But okay, sorry, I got off track there.
That's okay.
The caveat, number 1, not a family movie. This is definitely a mom and dad go see it. It is rated R. It earns its R rating. Everything you would imagine an R rating to have, it's there. Number 2, not something you would expect in an original feature. There is a mid-credit scene that wraps up the entire movie. So stick around and watch.
You're gonna get a mid-credit scene. You're also gonna get a post-credit scene.
And the post-credit scene doesn't so much wrap up the movie as much, but the mid-credit scene, I think the mid-credit scene, and it's more than just like a Marvel 5-minute scene. It's like a good 10-minute long sequence. I'm
not 100% sure why they did it that way.
I'm not either.
They could have just ended
it. They could have just ended. Either way, it wraps up the whole story. And makes it brings it to a very satisfying conclusion. So make sure you stay in your seat for that. So that's our review on Sinners. We both loved it. As for next week, we don't know what we're doing. I've kind of got a crazy busy weekend for work, and we talked about it that if we do see a movie, it'll have to probably be done in a very different way than what we've been doing lately.
Maybe we'll sneak it in during the week.
Something like that. So we'll have to see what's out there. But yeah, this was one to go check out. It's doing great at the box office. Would love to see it kill at the box office and become one of the highest grossing films of the year, because we need more movies like this. We need more big name directors getting permission to kind of do their original stuff. This is exactly. I'm just gonna say it. I have not felt like this walking out of a movie since Oppenheimer. Like it was that good, everybody. So if you're interested, if you want to see something that is just high quality, good from top to bottom. This is coming from someone who does not like horror films, by the way. I'm not a big horror fan. You're a little bit more.
Not really. I like a good like monster flick.
Mhm.
Like I really enjoy you know, A Quiet Place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But horror, so this one did go into that monster flick zone.
Mhm.
So that was probably also why I liked it.
So
but
I'm glad you brought up A Quiet Place, because to me, A Quiet Place is so good, it transcends just that horror genre. It becomes a drama, it becomes this, this does the same thing. I'm sorry, this is all over the place.
We just get your enthusiasm and how much you
Yeah.
love it. We both love
What
it.
I really thought was really cool about it was the pacing was right.
Mhm.
When it needed to be serious intense, it was serious intense. When it needed a moment to kind of let off the tension, there was some funny stuff that was happening in this movie.
Yeah.
It's funny in the right moments, it's sad in the right moments, it's tense, it's action packed, it's everything you want in a movie. So go check out Sinners.
Yeah.
So yeah, as of this next week, we don't know what we're gonna do, but we will probably have something for you guys next Monday. So
Yeah.
do you have any thoughts?
I think that's it. Just, I guess I'll take a quick little chance to go on a bit of a soapbox about supporting movies in the theaters.
Yes.
You touched on that a little bit, but I'm just saying, you guys, like, this is how we get good original film, is if you support it in. Oh no! We
Cat
had
just knocked down the camera.
Interruption. So, but seriously, like, if you want to see good original film, they just don't get the same kind of financial backing and support if you only do it via streaming.
Yeah.
So please, they make their money in the theaters. That's where it has to happen,
Go.
or we're going to stop getting this stuff. So
And
please support the theaters.
This needs to be seen on the biggest screen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the experience is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're done.
Okay.
We're done preaching to you about that. Thank you so much for your time. This has been Meet in the Middle Movies. I'm Elin.
I'm Mindy.
And we'll see you next time.
See you then.